let me. You say what, Brian?
I'm saying Islam, gratitude for you make it.
Yep. Gratitude for y'all being here. So, since we here, let me see what time we got. Oh, let me set this one up. Anybody want to do our Moorish American prayer?
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and death. Allah is my protector and my guide and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophets and overthrough Ali, along Malakim, Ayah Ash and Ayah, Otep, Islam,
Peace, Moors.
Peace.
Peace, true light seekers. You know, today we're just going to have a conversation, man. You know, we don't have to be long. But, you know, it's very, very important when we always say this more science. It's for you, and it's a peace, and it's a resurrection. And it's just sad that how a lot of times when a lot of people try to learn more science on the internet and you get bits and pieces in here and there, then what happens is you get us that look like each other arguing with each other about this and that and the other. And as I was live earlier at the park, Maso and Solomon, and I was just sharing a conversation with Brian about how we are the most angry and the most, how can I put, unorganized people, no matter what you claim in the world. And it's sad because I tell people, Maso, we accept our Moorish pedigree. We are indigenous to the land. And so when I see people trying to explain who they are, especially Moors, especially empresses on the internet, trying to prove that this is who they are. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't have to prove who you are to nobody that look like you and your tribal affiliation. Like, why do we do that? And we don't go and ever prove it to the European or Albion, no one that stepped on your neck forever. But since this internet is out, we trying to prove to somebody that look like you who you are and who you may not be. That's sad. Like when we always say, Solomon and Maso and Brian, it's one nationality, many cultures. No one is stripping you from your culture because it takes tribes to make nations. The tribes are the family. So it takes those tribes to make families. And it takes those tribal families to make nations. What's the issue when a person say you Moors did this? When you hear people talk about the Moors brought Christopher Columbus to the Americas. Like, man, but you don't say the same thing with your crazy uncle or your crazy brother that's a killer or a drug dealer. Do you see the psychosis and the mental where we at? And these be our own people trying to prove it. And the Moors, they brought Christopher Columbus to the Americas. All this stuff that is nothing. You know, it's minuscule. And then that's how the powers that be, they use this infighting to us to make us look like we stupid. Like a lot of people love holidays and say, well, yes, Biden gave misnomer NBC's Indigenous People Day. And he the first one president that said, we get that. But you happy with that? That's it. Like I tell people, no one, brother, rather tell you to diss your tribal affiliation. I tell everyone that identify as a Moor, you got to know who you are. You got to know your bloodline. I can't tell you that. Your mother, your family got to tell you that. I know my bloodline. I know where my dad's mother at. I know I'm from Abyssinia. I know my family is Abyssinians. I know my dad and mother and them are follow Haile Selassie. That's why they named me Kari Hakeem. So it's one nationality, many cultures. I mean, we got a lot of scholars that's gone. I love Haile Selassie. That's one of the prophets that I give homage to, that I study under. So when we deal with this, when people say, well, Moors, they brought Christopher Columbus to this, man, you would tell on your own brother not to do 3 months in jail. You would sell crack to your homeboy, mama. So all this stuff where people become up, well, the Moors did this, Christopher Columbus today, you don't know exactly what nobody done. All you should be worried about is who you are. Understanding who you are in law. And so I deal with the laws. I understand tribes, this, that, and the other. But as a people, collectively, international law, we must agree to what? One nationality. That's the law. No one telling you can't be a Choctaw. Just like our Empress Tahir El Bay. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the book. Hold on. I'm trying to make a point to us, man. I know I'm big. I'm trying to make a point that people get so mad about. You know? So I don't deal with what ifs. He said, what if you feel like you're the only one in your family that's trying to find out? Well, that's what you got to do. Allah gave that mission to you. You got to be okay with the mission that Allah give you. I'm on YouTube and a person said, well, what if you in the only family that want to know? Well, that's your mission. That's your assignment. And you can't place that on nobody else. That's an easy find. We can look at somebody's shoes, Brother Rez and Solomon and Maso, and say, oh, his jewelry ain't real. But we won't take the time to figure out who you are in your bloodline? How somebody else gonna tell you what blood gap is running in your veins? Just like when a Moor sees somebody say, "Oh, that's a European because the color of their skin." How you know what's running in their veins? How you know what their mom and their daddy is? That ain't no scholar. That ain't no wise man speaking like that. So when you see the return of the ancient ones, the true history uncovered of the Washita, the Hamnian, it's the Moors, the Empire, the Hamdia, the Empire, the Washita Files, by Empress Verdice Tierra, Washita Turner Gossett El Bay, of the Black Washita Empire. She ain't turning her back on her Moorish legacy. She told you she was a Moor, just like the European. Lewis and Clark said we were here when an exploration was made by them for this country. The first white man came to our good area and jotted down a history document. Said we were here. Philo, Fihol, put us on his map, and he said we were here and owned the place. At that time, he made his map. Just like when I tell you about the Negro question, and I tell you about all this stuff, it's like the European agree with me. And the Plano said, we are the people that made the road, Rio Negro River, as he called it. Now to cover it up, we say the Black River. If I want to know if a horse has teeth, I will go to a living horse and open his mouth. And that is what we have done. It took 20 years to find all the pieces. A lot of Moors don't have the pieces. We hope you enjoyed as much as I have. And it's connecting the science. It's connecting the references. It's giving you the history. She's not giving up her Moorish legacy. She's not giving up her tribal affiliate. Listen to this. The Empress book will call to task her recessive child, the keeper of the light. And no, she's one of the dominant parents in the process of awakening the nodding ones fully again. And the ones whose time has spoken of will soon approach and greet you, standing on the square properly postured and holding and giving all of the signs, symbols, and keys of his and hers rightful offices. What signs and symbols? This Moorish science, that masonry. And should you not believe me, just go find a truly conscious Moor, Moormur, and ask that person. Come on, man. Ain't nobody dissing a Moorish legacy, the history, the return of the ancient ones. Come on. Who dissing it? Your own personal research regarding your Moorish history, and then allow your mind to connect to. It's right here. It said, listen what it said. It says, suggest a question. This book begs you to start asking the questions and do your own personal. Your own personal is your family background. Research regarding your Moorish history, and then allow your mind to connect the two. Then you say to yourself, let us deal with facts. The mental journey this book will take you will well be worth the effort and the small price. And why would you go on Amazon to buy it and we got it right here? You know I got the book PDF. There's no reason. It tells it right here. And I'm not going to go all in through the book to break it down, because my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. Why? Because we refuse to learn. They say if you want to hide something from an NBC, put it in the book. We operate on spookism and not history. Get mad. I never tell nobody. I say, okay, yes, you indigenous to this land. Yes, you're a tribe, but you were more nationally. We talking about international law. I ain't talking about nothing else. We got to understand this. All you got to do is read. All I want you to digest is the fact that, write this down. Every time I give you scholarship, if a European couldn't read or write, how the hell you think he was a good navigator? Didn't I show you all the Thomas Jefferson Quran? First they called you a pirate. Then they called you a Corsican. Then they called you a Berber. They didn't know how to get around or nowhere. So hell no, Christopher Columbus ain't getting nowhere. He ain't no smart person. Anybody can be bought with some money. I tell people, you will sell your mom out, your daddy out for not going to jail for 3 months. I know people that ratted on the whole operation for some change. I know people that sell out for a couple dollars. So what are you talking about? Petro, El Negro. And so y'all got to be understanding these names when they be dropping it down in history or the ancient time. Petro, El Negro, or Peter, the black nigger, was the pilot or navigator of the Nina that led off Mr. Columbus' ship. That is why the word nigger doesn't bother me. I take one G out and I have, they like to say Niger. The missing link has always been here. Black. All men came from a black pair. However, the most educated would rather teach a lie that he came from a monkey without explaining who made the monkey. The white lies about the missing link stinks. What Columbus did. What Columbus did. What you say, I really appreciate the fact that you're helping people like me that's tired of being slave to do lack of wisdom of self. Gratitude. What Columbus did find was a city of black people who fed him and gave him gifts, gold. I told y'all we had the fire stick. It wasn't no use for it. I'm telling you history. The European agree with me. I didn't get no degrees and graduate with honors for no reason. And that don't make me better than no one. And cotton and cloth, which they, the blacks, had manufactured. El Petro El Negrito, that is Peter the nigger, the pilot or the navigator of the lead ship, came on deck to take control. No one bowed to the sailors as history tells us. And of course, history can say it that way. They were pleased to write, as it was his story. It would have been much easier on all of us if they had just written the plain truth, like Columbus wrote in his sea log. I'm telling you, it's there. The king, who was black, did not come to a common ship admiral. He bade Columbus to come to him. In this city was a factory that made clothes from cotton. They gave the hungry sailors food. I'm telling you all this. The truth is the real missing link in the history taught to our children, black and white. When the truth is left out, history becomes a lie, whitewash. And that is where the statement little white lies come from in history, his lie. The missing link is the discovery of America by Christopher Columbus. The discovery is filled with so much lies, and if you would try to eliminate some of the lies there, it would be no discovery to read. It's just facts. Mr. Columbus was not a stranger to black men, and I'm using what they wrote. He was from Spain. Come on. The Moors ruled Spain for damn near 800 years. You got to be, come on. And got his knowledge of the sea from the black men, the black Moors who ruled Spain for 900 years prior to 1492. The admiral on the lead ship was Peter El Negrito, or Mr. Peter the nigger, as he was called even then. That is the reason why the word does not rock the person boat back then, the writer. Even a stupid person would know that a little sick boy named Diego did not navigate the lead ship. He was undernourishment, had no mother, forever on the go, half starved, and looking for someone to finance his father's voyages. I can go on, and I'm not going to do it. And so when we let our own people get into an argument or talk about, see you Moors, I am indigenous to the land. He go, I'm a Choctaw. That's fine. You know your family background. That's great. But the Moors brought Columbus here. Man, what are you talking about? Like we know history. Like what? Okay, well, what about the Crips and Bloods? What about all these Negroes that's rapping, killing each other? You don't have the same way, but it's a personal attack. And I said that don't make sense. Here it is, the ancient, what she said. She accept her Choctaw, but she a Moor. Here it is. Oh, you gonna diss Empress Verdice Tierra, the Washita Turner Gossett El Bay? You gonna diss her of the Washita Empire? You gonna diss her and she says she a Moor, or you gonna diss her, huh? See? That's what I be saying. We lost. We lost. And we letting our own people separate us because somebody done made you mad. And I tell people, stop letting Negroes on the internet teach history. They just put a fez on their head and they don't have no history. They not scholars. Trying to make you this. It's one nationality, many cultures. I hope you know your culture background, your tribal affiliate. Everybody wasn't brought here on no goofy slave ship. I know my family wasn't. So when we talk about original, we're going to jump around in this document and then we done. When we do history, scholarship, you got to remove the dogma. People just be saying things because they mad. Ain't nobody telling you to get rid of your tribal affiliate and who your bloodline is. That's fine. More ain't mean no black. How can you say more mean black, Brother Rez, and black is an adjective? That don't even make sense. You mad. Let's do some simple science. What color is my shirt? What color is my shirt?
Yellow.
Okay, so you ain't gonna say, she got on a yellow, are you?
I was gonna say you got on a yellow shirt.
Oh, no, you ain't gonna say no. If you ask me what I got on, you ain't gonna say, she got on a yellow.
You got a shirt.
Period. You gonna say I got on a shirt. So right there, the yellow is not the yellow is not identifying what this is. It's a shirt, and it happens to be yellow. You can have a fucking white one. I mean, what are you talking about? So how can you let a male or female say Moor meant black? No, it didn't. Negrito meant black in Spanish. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Black is an adjective. This is too simple. And then when you start doing history, Brother Rez, as we start fact checking people over and over, like we did one of the European dictionary, Vladimir Dale's dictionary, told you that an Arab, A-R-A-P, meant dark-skinned person. And then as we start doing scholarship, we show you that Moor originally meant Westerner, not black, Negro, or colored. I keep telling people, then they want to talk about that Willie Lynch stuff. Well, in first century, black did not describe ethnicity. These is facts. I'm giving you scholarship. It don't matter how you feel. They'll let a Negro have anything, just like what's the Negro name that did Roots? What's his name? Come on, y'all.
Alex Haley.
Okay, Alex Haley, a freaking lie. Alex Haley plagiarized everything. He stole that from a European called Harold Colander. It's a book called The African by a European named Harold Colander. Read it. I got the book over here. The book costs a grip now. I tried to get every Moor to buy it. He plagiarized all that shit. All fake. All made up bullshit. All made up. He faked it all. What? Everything. His ancestor wasn't no fucking Kunta Kinte. He made it up. Lie. Lies, lies, lies. And then the Europeans say, let them niggas have that. Why? Because they believe it. They believe this, that they some slaves. Let them have it.
They actually went on the talk show. I seen one time when they went on the talk show to actually claim like this is our story, like this is our roots type thing. And that's when I think Quentin Tarantino had made a remark about, it's all made up stories. People got mad.
Yep. Yep, no. Hold on, I'm sorry. I just had to grab something. I'm sorry, as we teach it.
Even all the way in West Africa, in the slave islands, they all for tourism. They going along with the same story.
Yep. And we continue.
Alex Haley got a statue here in Maryland too.
Yep. And just like here you go another. We are the Washita. We know we are tribal, but they telling you that you are Moor. Like, what are you talking about? The Washita Moors. Like, what is indigenous, native to North America? What's the issue? It's some individual that done pissed you off. We tribal to this land. We ain't dissing our tribal affiliation. Look at the Empress Tiara here. She told him, what's the problem? Look at her headdress. Look at her headdress. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Are we tripping? Are we tripping? The mound builders? Are we tripping? Man, I can go on and on with the history. Ain't nobody telling you to give up your culture. Who telling you to give up your culture? I got tapes full with her lectures. I start pulling them shits out. Excuse my candor. I got tapes. I got all Tony Brown's journals. I got tapes that I've been collecting for freaking years. But I ain't gonna do it. How the ancient ones gonna tell you were more and connect to your legacy? But then we let people that get mad, I'm not this and I'm not that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen, let me give you another fake scenario when I tell you, our ancient ones, Dick Gregory, I'm all them in the flesh. I'm just resurrected. Dick, like a person to tell you the black man is crabs in a bucket. Yeah, the misnomer black man, but the crabs in a bucket ain't even a real theory when you thinking rationally, because it's the water that make the crabs want to jump out the motherfucker. Excuse my candor. The water hot as hell. So I put your goofy ass in a hot ass pot. Your goofy ass ain't gonna try to jump out the fucking pot. And then if you understand what a crab do in the ocean, crabs build themselves up and they stack on each other for they eat. And then once the one on the eat, the top one on the top that eat, he goes back down on the bottom and let the one come up. They stack up. So crabs do the damn thing. They support each other. But you're going to let somebody talk about you a crab in a bucket. The fucking water hot.
And they don't do that in their normal habitat either.
Absolutely not. So do you see what I be saying? Brother Raz, when they come with this stupid shit, ain't no crabs in no, but what are you talking about? Where were you getting your science from? Where are you getting your science from? This is a unity. This is a peace. The European agree with me. If he didn't, why? How could I graduate with honors? Tell me that. If I'm talking some goofy shit, brother Rez, how I graduate from 2 universities and I'm talking crazy? Huh? How I go on a college campus and teach every Wednesday to a doctoral library full of freaking students? And it's something so hidden. It ain't nothing hidden. So let's continue. More originally meant Westerner, not black, Negro color. Go down more, because we went through this already. We went through this Phoenician. Slow down, go back down a little bit. I told you Africa wasn't named after no European, and then them Negroes that wrote some hidden colors talk about Africa was named after a European. That's Negro-centric propaganda as well. Africa wasn't named after no European. That's bullshit. Excuse my candor. Period. And every scholar know that. No, Africa wasn't named after no European, and the European got the name Africanus because he defeated the African general, Abdomen. Y'all got to know what this means. His brother did the same thing in another geographic area. I hope we know this, but we try to pick it. Yeah, but then we try to pick and choose because we mad. What you mad for? Like, what you mad for? Somebody always did something in history. Oh, the more the ones that have the feds on. Okay, let's give another scenario. If some ruler come to your area and all y'all not gonna fight and die for what y'all believe in, and Leopold come and use the feds as part of his army uniform, some of y'all gonna die on the sword, and a lot of suckers, they gonna ride with that shit. Same way Hitler used the feds as part of his damn regiment. The goddamn Hitler, a lot of his army generals was Muslims, studied the Quran. So what you talking about? You ain't talking about nothing. I told y'all, it's the person that's under it making the science. You can take anything and use it for what you want. Didn't Hitler take our African symbol and he called it the goddamn swastika? That ain't no damn swastika. I showed y'all that's bullshit. That's 360 degrees. So once again, who told you the lies? Who told you that the Baphomet is the devil? Once your religious scary people. That's written Kabbalistically. We teach this science over and over and over. And I don't deal with, oh, what about this? What a belief. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast as what is good. If we in law, if we in court, all you got to do is prove your case. It ain't going to be no rebuttal. No rebuttal with me. There's no reason to believe that the people who called themselves Maori, M-A-U-R-I, assumed their native names. Now here we go again, native names from foreigners. Europeans, Romans, Greeks, all that. So let's go past that because we touched that. Let's go past that. Let's go past that. I don't even want to, because I want to go, we taught this. Ancient Mauritania, go back a little bit. Ancient Mauritania spans from North Africa to the coast of Ghana in Nigeria. When I talk about the ancient ones, when I talk about the chosen people, watch this. Hold on. See, we can do this all day, man. Let me see if I got my book, The Chosen People. Is. What you doing, girl? All right. All right. Okay. So let me show y'all something. All right. So the next book, The Mother of Us All, A History of Queen Nanny, the leader of the Windward Jamaican Maroons. Moors. I'm not even gonna go on with it. I want to show empresses. All these empresses be mad as hell. Oh, my intellectually, I'm this. I know you a tribe, but you still a Moor. I'm gonna show you history. Look at it. Look at Queen Nanny, the leader of the Windward Jamaican Maroons. She ain't say she wasn't no Moor. The chosen people. And then you got Wentworth Matthews. Let me show y'all a picture of the brothers, man. What they saw when people just be making stuff up, giving you their narrative. No, I write our own story. Look at the brothers. Look at the babies. Learning what they learning? Arabic, Hebrew. This is the chosen one. I ain't even finished yet. That's why I be saying, I'm like, I don't know what we talking about. Isis, when you get that bag from under my bed with my stole, with my stole under it, you will see it. I'm gonna show y'all some stuff. Look at these brothers, man. Look at these brothers. Look at Wentworth Matthews now. Look at them. Look at the empresses on the streets. Then look at the nobles. Look at the nobles. Look at them. They ain't arguing. Them brothers ain't arguing with each other. Look, family. Yes. Can you pull that tablet out and put it over me? Let me read it for you. Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple, of the Moorish Jews, in 1920, Harlem, photographed by James Van Deersey. I hope y'all know who James Van Deersey is. Donna Musindin Van Deersey. And you see Wentworth Matthews with the same stole I got on. Got his toppy on. Them brothers ain't arguing. Them brothers ain't arguing like these Negroes doing. Rabbi Ford and the BBA choir in front of the BBA storefront in Harlem, June 30th in the 1923. The original caption for this photo said that the congregation is gathered for all, listen to this. The congregation is gathered from all parts of Africa and also from South America and the West Indies. Same thing what the prophet did. In addition to his religious duties, Rabbi Ford conducted a vocal and instrumental music group. Don't you know the Moors had their marching band? Particularly attention being given to Hebrew and Arabic melodies. Huh? Come on, man. So what are we talking about? And then what's more symbolic in the picture is when I show y'all the picture with Wentworth Matthews and them, you see the corporate American flag and the so-called flag of Israel. And Israel won't create a country or whatever you want to call it into the 1940s. Message.
How do you spell that last name of the photographer?
Van Deersey or Musindin, Mussenden, Donna Musindin, Van Deersey, Vanderzee.
Okay.
You see Wentworth Matthews got the same stole I got on right now? Our Hebrew stole, what I got on right now. Wentworth Matthews writing the book, the chosen ones. He got it on. It's our science. The European, they adopted your science. I'm telling you, the only person who can talk like this is the person that accepted in those houses. I'm accepted in all those houses, period. Because I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill exactly what the teachings say. I'm here to fulfill. I'm going to show you one more, and then we're going to proceed, and we done. Moors don't know where the Freemasonry come from. They think that's some European them brought to Freemasonry, and I just sit and laugh. I say, you have no idea of where this science come from. You have no idea. You just put on a whole bunch of shit and walking around hating because you're not a mathematician. You're not an ancient one because you can't fake it. Look at these brothers back then. Look at Wentworth Matthews now, man, holding the stole, holding the damn stole. That the Jews be wanting to talk about like they got, look, your people. When I tell people, man, I don't diss my culture and my heritage. I understand who I am. Yes, I am the Hebrew. Yes, I am the Jew. Yes, I am the Moor. Yes, I am the tribe. Yes. Here go a picture. Look at that brother in the turban. I'm going to read the caption to you. You see that brother in the turban? Let's read the caption. Rabbi Ford in a turban. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East. What? The mystical East, when used by black religious magical workers. Produced from B.Z. Goldberg's A Negro Brisk, Banani Brith magazine, New York, 41, number 11, August 1927. August 1927. So when people be coming up with this asinine stuff about we not scholars in our history, you just ain't went back far enough. And I ain't even went into American history. I ain't even went into the presidents. I ain't even went into Thomas Jefferson Quran, which we did plenty times. The world know who you are. Moors, Latin, a Negro, a blackamoor. In the 1599 Geneva Bible, it didn't call you no African or no Ethiopian. It called you a blackamoor. Who was Melchizedek in the Bible? Come on, man. I shall answer that better than you can get than getting up from a Negro's belly. All this stuff, that's Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote about the Moor. Damn it, Martin Lawrence played in the Black Knight, and they said, a Moor, you Moor? Y'all be missing it? It be in movies. Look up Black Knight and look up with Martin in it. They would call him Moor all through the movie. All through the movie. Look at Robin Hood. Look at Robin Hood when Jamie Foxx played Robin Hood. What the hell they was calling him all through the movie? You Moor, the Moor. The Moor showed Robin Hood know how to shoot a fucking arrow. Them crackers didn't know how to do shit. Excuse my candor. I'm just saying. So when we get all act like we some stupid people, we ain't do nothing, you got to be a fool. I showed you. Let me show you another. I'm keep showing examples all through history. I'm gonna keep showing examples all through history, man. Just like when I show you here on Thomas Jefferson Quran. Who writing the background in Thomas Jefferson Quran? That ain't no slave. That's the person that was showing Thomas Jefferson where the hell to go. They were illiterate. You see the Moor with his feather on. And that was one of the Masonic secrets. I keep telling y'all that's why they sons of Muslims. I'm going to tell you what I know for a fact. They dress like you. Just like when I told y'all Benjamin Bay initiated all the Europeans into this science. I showed the documents. They ain't know nothing. So what makes you, why you going to let somebody educate you and your children? And we educated the world. I ain't saying just anymore. We talk about the right ones. Let's go down. Let's keep going. Keep going. Stop right there. Look at the Portrait of Antiquity and author John Cousins, circa 1861. These people that's writing this shit, they writing what they learned is what they saw. In 1893, in his handbook, Heraldry, British antiquarian John Edwin Cousin, 1837 to 1899, wrote, and I quote, look at what they saw. I started bringing up more stuff that's sitting right in the doctoral libraries. When I did a lecture in the African American department, the professor was like, we having one of our own come. My lectures be packed because you can't deny history. Look what he's showing you. Royal Moors bloodlines of Italy, 1550 to 1555, Exignia, Lucinium, etc. BSB, code.icon. We talk about Russian icons, like one of the books I got by Vladimir Ivanov called Russian Icons. Why you think in Russia they know? Because they know. Who you think wrote the language? Alex Pushkin. This shit is known. Who the hell y'all think Angelo Solomon was? The first Moorish Mason. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Look at the heads of a Moor or a blackamoor and a Saracen. Yes, a Saracen. Research what a Saracen is. I've been connecting it. You lost because you don't know linguistics. These is facts. And they are withered about temples with a fillet of twist silk. I can show you all in Europe and show you all the monuments got the Moorish heads on it. I can take you how they bow down to the Moorish legacy. I done showed this. I can take you to the Netherlands and show you Black Pete, AKA Swarty Pyatt. I can show you the Santa Claus, all the bullshit twisted history. Proceed, Noble. And why the European dress up in blackface. I can show you this. It's there in history. Source, Handbook of Heraldry, with instruction for tracing. Listen to the facts. When I tell Moors, listen to words. Instructions for tracing pedigrees. Didn't our prophet say the European be left here to teach you how to create a government and teach you law? It's here. Now it's time for us to teach us. All everybody got to do is come. The laws, this is what y'all say y'all wanted. Y'all wanted freedom. Y'all, I can do all this. Now it's starting to happen like that. Negroes getting scared. It's right here. European be like, okay, do what you want, do it. Organize. Negroes don't want to organize. Look at the map by Guillermo Rusili, Mauritania. Look what the Europeans showing you. MOHR, name meanings. And then we'll let people today, oh, we ain't no more. But then when John Henry Clark or when Dr. Ben make videos, I don't care how you spell it, MOHR, MOOR. Damn it, Abraham Lincoln was a damn attorney before he was a damn president. And then he defend the Moor in court. Are y'all crazy? And we gonna let people mad talk this madness? Come on, go down, man. Keep going. Keep going, man. This is madness. Keep going. Stop right, go back up a little bit, Noble. Go back up a little bit more. All right, right there. Stop. The word Moor is a loose term that was used in medieval and Renaissance England to refer to Moors, Blackamoors, Negroes, Indians, Mohammedans, or Muslims. All these terms were more often than not used interchangeably. This study is concerned with the Moor from North Africa, a specific Moor, the one you call black. You got all different type of Moors, tawny Moors, this and that. That's why they called you Blackamoor, pertaining to your skin. They called you a Berber. Come on, man. The words Moor, Blackamoor, Blackmoor, Negro, Ethiopian, or even Turk and Arab were used interchangeably in the 16th and 17th century. Just like in Vladimir's dictionary, he told you what an Arab consists of, a person that's black. Point blank. Point blank, in spite of the fact that the English became aware of the distinctions between the different types of blacks. The word Moor was commonly used to refer to Muslims in general, whether they came from Africa or Asia. I mean, thus, the inhabitants of the island of Malacca, part of today's Malaysia, are referred to as Moors in religion. In fact, as Anthony Gerald Barthélemy puts it, almost anyone who was not Christian, European, or Jewish could have been called a Moor. Thus includes Asians, Native Americans, Africans, Arabs, all Muslims, regardless of ethnicity. Come on, man. It's nothing to argue. The image of Moors in the writings of the four Elizabethan dramatists. When we talk about Elizabeth, then we talk about those people that was writing that time, the scholars, the ones that wrote literature. They told you what they saw. A thesis submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. They told you what they saw. Go down, Noble, because I don't want to read that. I want to read it to you. Go back up. Go back up a little bit more. All right, right there. Okay, the U.S. Immigration Dictionary of Races and Peoples was originally intended to guide the Immigration Commission workers, but when it became clear that it would appear too late for that, it came to be seen as a commission submission of knowledge about each race or people. Go down, Noble. So, a historical rather than an ethnographical term applied to very different peoples of northwestern Africa. In Roman history, it is applied to inhabitants of Mauritania, Morocco, and Algeria, who were in part Phoenician colonists. There we go. You know what a Phoenician is. You. In Spain history, the Moors and the Moriscos were mainly supposed to be Arabs. There we go again. But we know who Arabs were, according to the damn Europeans. Today, the word is wrongly applied to the rifts of Morocco. We ain't even got to go on to that. Let's keep going. Stop right here. So predominant was the black skin of the Moorish invaders of Europe. The Blackamoor, the black as a Moor. That's where they get it from. You a Moor? Oh, you black as a Moor, because they identify Moors by their skin. You black as a Moor. They ain't say you was no Muslim. They called you a Blackamoor, whether you was a Morisco or a Majarid. Huh? Islam?
Islam, no.
Okay. And it came to be used not only for Moroccans, but for other blacks and Ethiopians and Sudanese. As Elliot Smith says, Negro admixture, we call grafting, is so evident among the Moroccan population that the word Moor is often used to suggest Negro influence. As we see it, Blackamoor. In human history on page 124, this was written in 1919, and the Oxford Dictionary also said it was commonly used for Negro in the Middle Ages, as late as the 17th century. Hambly, a more recent writer, says, in physique, a Moor may be a Berber or an Arab or a mixture of the two, with Negro blood as well. Source, Book of Anthropology. But since many Arabs and Berbers are already Negroes, what did he just say? This is a European saying this. But since many Arabs and Berbers are already Negro, Moors are, on the whole, darker than the average American mulatto. Huh? Okay. Talk to me. Nature knows no color line. Research into the Negro ancestry in the white race by J.A. Rogers. See, when I was doing a dissertation at GCU, a lot of Europeans thought J.A. Rogers was a European, just like they thought Carter G. Woodson was a European. Because, see, they started writing a lot of science as they was dying and getting older. A lot of them was Boule, but that's not here nor there. We talk about the history that can't be denied. Go down. Yes, sir.
Of course, in the 17th century, like the 1700s.
Yep.
17, well, right before the 1800s, right?
Yep.
So in like 1753, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that when they started classifying people like as far as like Negro, Caucasian, and different. It was like a German dude who started that.
Bloomback. Remember, I told you in the book y'all got the black man is the father of civilization, and I proved it by the Bible only. In that book, it's a chapter in there, and the European name is Bloomback. He came up with that goofy theory about the brain from Caucasus Mountains.
And I said that to say that's why they tried to say Arabs and Berbers are already Negroes, try to throw them into that Negro classification. Correct?
Yep. But then now let's get technical. That's why then you got these misnomer blacks to call and they under that Al-Islam stuff, and that ain't no black man religion. Because in the Bukhari Hadith it talks about you. It names all so-called Muhammad slaves. If you think about an Asiatic woman, it's an evil omen. Call your ass a razor head. So I don't play those. That's why I say I ain't on nobody's side. I don't play no religious games. This is science and history and law, and it goes together. It all goes together. Ancient Mauritania is wider in terms of geographic dimensions than it is today. It stretched from North Africa to West and Central Africa. But then when a European lady get on Oprah, I forget her name, the doctor, her name will come to me, Jane Smith, and tell you that the map that they're using, that map, that's the MacArthur map, and then I'll show you the history of that European, why he did that map. It's all fake. But when a European will tell us this, we pray, we want to send donation to the Europe. Let's praise her. But your brother got the same education and bring his own chair and table to the meeting, and they sit on their hands, and I'm their teacher. And then they come back and give you regurgitated history. You should get the history from your own. Like Strabo geographies. Research who Strabo is. He told you what he saw. Pull it up, Noble. Go ahead. Can you pull the document up more, Noble, please? We almost done. So when you see Dr. John Henry Clark, or when you say Dr. Ben, when he talk about Moore, he like, I don't care how you spell it, M-O-O-R, M-U-U-R. Moors don't read. Because in Latin, they were calling you more all through history. They were spelling it different. They were calling you everything. You just don't know how to read. And then when you show people the facts of the matter, we still won't go with it. That's insanity. And I don't deal with crazy people. I don't deal with people that commit suicide, because that's suicide. Forms, M-A-U-R, M-O-R, M-O-U-R-E, M-O-W-R-E. Then in the document, when Abraham Lincoln was defending the Moor, he said, oh, why are you trying to say my client is not a Moor, M-O-O-R-E? Remember that, y'all? Remember? Come on, man. This is too easy. This is too simple. M-O-W-R-E, M-A-U-R-E, M-O-O-R-E, M-O-O-R, M-O-O-R. Now with initial, capital, M-E, M-O-R-E, all these different variations. All these variations I'm not going to stay in. Go down, Noble. Let's keep going. A male head with Negro features. Look at all back in these times. Keep going. I want to get to where we left off at, because we taught this. We taught this. We got to come to an agreement and get all this anger. Go back up a little bit. Go back up a little bit. A little bit more. Right there. Stop. Okay. In Esther de Hispana, History of Spain, the first vernacular chronicle composed in Spain, we find a characteristic portrayal. Listen, all the Moor soldiers were dressed with silk and black wool that had been forcibly acquired. Their black faces were like pitch, and the most handsome of them was as black as a cooking pan. They telling you what they saw. The extensive European historiography of the Crusades is replete with similar portrayals. French, Italian, and English histories of the medieval Moors and the late Turks repeat these stereotypes and reinforce this image, what they saw. The view of the origin of the Moors must, however, be disregarded here, and attention be turned on the history of it. In the Scottish dictionary says of the word Morev, American, defined by him as black, swarthy. Here again, Black Pete, aka Swarty Pyatt. See, if you're a linguistic, the European or goofy nigger are not gonna come. Okay, who is Swarty Pyatt? What is Swarty Pyatt? Black, resembling what? A Moor? How is he dressed like? And then they try to throw you off and dress a goofy ass monkey up like a Moor. It's a game. Ain't nobody falling for that shit. This word has certainly been used in Old English, as Cotgrave gives it, as the sense of FR more. And I hope y'all know what I'm saying when I'm using these abbreviations. You got to do some research or be a student. Continue, go up some more. Stop right there. And he also connects the word with the Morion, M-O-R-I-O-N, that formed the headpiece of the medieval man at arms. When you research men at arms, when you see He-Man, y'all remember, I'm gonna show y'all all through cartoons, men at arms. I can show, just like in G.I. Joe, you had the mercenary brothers, they got power in the light. So in the headpiece of the medieval men at arms, the headpiece. And after English word from the root of Murrey, M-U-R-R-E-Y, meaning dark, red, or copper color. What's the 1828 Webster Dictionary telling you what an American is? The copper colored races found here by the European. The European ain't found shit. We ain't giving nobody no credit of coming somewhere somebody already occupying. I ain't giving nobody no credit of that. You get no credit from me. I'm a historian. I ain't giving you no credit for coming somewhere your ass people here. I can show you on the back of the dollar. Look on the back of the dollar who's looking out of the goddamn bushes. Indigenous people of the land. Miss me with that dumb shit. For real. Isis, will you get the door? And the country of Moravia, Moravia, is said to receive its name from its chief river, the Morava, the Mark, or the ancient Moors, and its first known inhabitants are stated to have been a people named Quadi, Q-U-A-D-I, who immigrated in the 5th century to Gaul and Hispania. The river Morava is a tautology, for Morava is Moor, M-O-R river, whether AVA be regarded as Celtic or Gothic. When I tell you about the Celtic, when I tell you about the Vikings, I'm telling you, it's all your history. They tried to whitewash the whole history. I got the books. When they tried to make the Vikings light, but they couldn't erase the noses that was big as hell. When they said, well, the Vikings was here in America first. You damn right. AKA pirates. Yep, You're going to keep telling the truth, and I'm going to keep proving it. Or a language older than either. It's not unreasonable to conjure that the Quadi, who went into France and Spain, may have been born by the name Moor. The other have been given to them by the outsiders, or vice versa. Let's go on. Let's pull it down. We can go on and on with the science. Go down. Because I want to get to where we left off. Stop right there. Go back a little bit, Noble. Gratitude. Excuse me. So it appears that writers have replaced the ancient Westerner meaning of the term Moor, because that's what Moor mean, ancient. I ain't talking about modern. When people I talk about ancient, just like when they read Hebrew, Jewish. Are you reading Paleo or are you reading modern? Because Yiddish is gibberish. Ancient is when you were civilized. So, Westerner meaning of the term Moor, with the black or brown complexion or skin color of the people and the efforts to implement white skin, that so-called supremacy, but ain't nobody supreme over me, into literature, which requires enforcement of the crusader duty to blacken, to white out, or strip. So when the duty to blacken mean to white out, or strip dark-skinned people of their Moorish heritage. Just like when a lot of Moors talk about, Noble Drew Ali plagiarized it from Aquarian Gospel. The European, and his people will tell you, the European wasn't nothing but a damn, what do you call him? A telegrapher. All he is doing is repeating what he, a transcriber that's transcribing what he heard. That's from the Moorish Akashic records. See, it's facts. So we're not gonna deal with it with no propaganda. Keep going. We almost there. We're not gonna deal with nobody dealing with that.
The man said that he prepared.
He said it. I got the letter. He said it. He said it wasn't his. He said he was a transcriber. That's all. And just like when I show y'all the Lee Cummings, the Negro question, when I show y'all Judah had 3 names. History, it's all in the universities. What do people talk about? That's why I be laughing at people that's operate on anger. These same authors chose to ignore the use of the black as a caste, a perpetual brand, as only being employed in slave records and accepted as an identifier for various indigenous and ancient nation, kingdoms, and tribes. Much reliance is based on historical reference identifying the skin complexion or color of several ancient groups, including the Moors. And however Moors, the truth can be colored over, but it cannot be removed. Just like in the Bible, in Maccabees, when it said the heathen, the Gentile tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. And then I show you in my book, Vladimir Ivanhoff, and how you got the European in there trying to whitewash themselves in the history books. So everybody lying, huh? Striking dark impressions of Russil's map of the northwest portion of Africa. It's an expanded edition of another atlas of 1548, which has been called the most comprehensive atlas produced between Martin Wallner's Geographic of 1513 and the Abram Orthelus Theatrum of 1570. And they were beautifully engraved on copper, making a turning point in the history of cartography. And the history of the Greek alphabet starts with the adoption of Phoenician letters, forms, and continues to the present day. And the Greek alphabet postdates Linear B, the syllabic script that was used for writing in the Messenian Greek by several centuries. And this history concentrates on the early periods before the codification of the now standard Greek alphabet. The Phoenician alphabet was, strictly speaking, one that was consistently explicit only about consonants. Though even by the 9th century BC, it had developed matrices lexicons. So when Moors got to understand, when we talk about the tetragrammaton, the YHWH, and where we get Yahweh from and all this stuff, I have to teach that later. And when we talk about palindrome words, when you got Yah to the right and Yah to the left, when we talk about the Yoso Somos code. Go down, man, cause I'm about to be done. All these different German variants of the word Maurer, Maurer, all these German spellings, Ashkenazic, topographic name for someone who lived by a wall, Middle High German, Mur, German Moor, as a Jewish name. It can be ornamental. Just like when people say, oh, the date of Judas and natives Judas, not following no bloodline, because the true Jew is the Igbo and the Igbo. And the European agree with me on that. I'll pull out the documents again. The European agree with me on this again. And the etymology of the word Moor can be traced to the Phoenician term Morin, meaning Westerners. The Semitic etymon, Morium, Mahourim, referred to people of the West. And the term Maghrib meant the West, or the place where the sun sets. And the greater Maghrib referred to the further west, while Maghreb, Moghrabel, Aska, meant the extreme west. So I'm gonna stop right there, man. That's a wrap.
But the son shares his last mile.
Yep. Look at all this, man. Muru, Mer, or Moratu can be translated as meaning of the Western Sea. And see, we got a lot more to teach. Like, this document is long. We ain't even gotten where we stopped off yet. We would have went for a whole hour. That's why I say a person got to come to class. Because we ain't even, that's when I get these documents and things, it's nothing secret with me. It's sacred. The only thing going to cost you is being illiterate and being stupid. And that is a word. You can't get mad at a person like, well, that's stupid what you're doing. How? Because it's proven false. The only way to learn something is get into the systematically and do what the law say we can do. Educate ourselves. So we let all them people that's teaching falseness that don't want to come into the light, let them go. And that's Moors too. And that's Moors too that's operating crazy. That's them too that's paper terrorists that just pushing paper, talking about they can nationalize you. Them too. Any questions, man? We done.
Say no, I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to find. I've only heard it verbally, but I haven't actually like seen any literary work to see exactly where people are getting it from when I've heard it. But I've heard that Osiris is another translation for Osiris is Western, but I can't find any literary work to like say that.
All right. Now, watch this.
Or is that hearsay?
All right, I'm about to do some in scholarship what we do. How and like in a lot of movies they don't give you the answer. You got to figure it. It's like you almost figuring it out. Now, if we say Osiris is Asiatic, this, and that, and the other, and then they say Osiris is a Westerner, okay, are you connecting it?
In my head, I could definitely connect it in what I feel
If
like.
all right, so they say if we say more originally meant Westerner, then if we go on all this history and we basing it on a color of a person's skin or a nationality, then they were a Westerner, right?
Correct.
That's when you get with the information. If you say you got to make you got to make an assumption based on the information, then you do a synopsis based on the information. So you doing an educated synopsis based on the information at hand.
Okay.
Not saying this, and see that's the thing about science and mathematics. When I say we in our test tube with our beakers and our test tubes all the time, because you always got to be correcting. And so when a person says Osiris means Westerner, okay, well, it's not going to be nowhere say Osiris means Westerner. And that's what people be wanting. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's kind of what I was looking for, the black and white. Okay.
Yeah, a person be looking for. I'm looking for where Osiris mean Westerner. And then you ain't gonna find it.
Right. Gotcha.
But you should be able, as an educator, to put the puzzle together and say, okay, well, if we basing it on this history and if there's this legacy, I'll make it even simpler. Okay, if let's use the misnomer turn of Jesus, which is there was no J in the Hebrew dialect, and I say Jesus Osiris or whatever mean Westerner, and I say, well, okay, well, yes, because we are from the tribe of Judah. Lineage of David by blood. If I say I'm a Moor mean Westerner. So what about Ruth the Moabitess? What about all that? So yes, Yahshua, so-called Jesus, was a Westerner, aka if we are related to like a god, like an Osiris. Are you following me?
Islam.
Think about. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it plain when a person try to say something. With nobody said. We're talking about the nationality. So when we say we Moors. Okay, and we say Jesus and he from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David. Well, what nationality? Moor. Okay, so then if we say that's a Moor, then we know ancient, that means Westerner, right? I'm just trying to make it as plain and that simple. A lot of times the answer is not going to be plain like that. You got to take the puzzle pieces together and it's for you to come up with the answer. Not based on, I know this, just like when I based it on Kumbaya, and I break it down, I told you the Kum, the Ba, and the Ya came from. I showed you where I got the science from out of lexicon. But then I also, honest man, I said the Ba is no definition for the Ba, but we connected to the Ba as Abba, meaning father. So it's a way to trace things. It's not going to give you the right answer. You got to do the research and say, based on this and these meaning, this is what it is. That's the work that need to be done. That's how you can prove who you are. Anybody might not just prove, say, I'm this. But if you do the research, say, wait a minute. You said we the people of the book. You start doing the Moors. A real Moor don't diss itself from the Bible. How? How can a Moor diss itself from the Bible? Noble Ali ain't diss itself from the Bible. He said, why are you going to get rid of stuff that you need? How are you going to say you're from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood, and diss the scriptures? How are you going to diss Ruth the Moabitess and Tamar and all that, and you don't understand the science of it? How you gonna come out with all that paperwork and talk about Leviticus 25 and 10 and talk about the feds and all that and don't know the rich history? So all we're doing is said in the beginning the world was dark. What world? A certain part of the world. Based off what? What the Europeans came and what they saw when they came to the Americas. What are we talking about? They saw natives of the land. You had all these different tribes, yes, on this one area, but we all Moors. Period. I mean, Empress The Jamaican Maroons told you that, right? That's one. The chosen people, the Jewish Moors, Wentworth Map and them, they told you that. And then right around you got Empress Tihera. And then they're telling you that. And then you got Dr. R.A. Umar Shabazz Bey. We are the Washita Moors. So what's the argument? We got to let it go, man. So I'm done because I know everybody ready to work out. Islam? Any questions?
Gratitude once again.
It's nothing to deny, man. That's why I tell study, study, study. Come systematic. Don't miss the systematic teaching classes. Because as we start taking this to the next level after our meet and greet, a lot of people are going to get lost when I start teaching out the books, out our books. So I got books to give to Moors that's already members like Brian. I think some books I got to get Maso and our new Empress. And anybody that didn't become a member, when I started teaching out of those 7 more science books and our IDMR books, start connecting this science and it really started making you feel good inside, it's going to be those that's not members. They ain't going to know what the hell we talking about. That's just like if you go to a class of architecture, you ain't been coming to class, you ain't going to know what they talking about because they speaking the language. What, you going to come in there and say, that don't make sense? Of course it don't make sense to you because you don't know the language. You ain't out there with all your tools, like our Morse Quran says in chapter 5. These are the tools in the toolbox. You don't know how to work your compass and square. You are here playing. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. We about to work out. I'm gonna log off and then we log back in and work out, man. Empress, you want to do our Moorish American prayer? And we out of here.
Sure. All right, here we go.
Islam, Empress.
Allah. Islam. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Asher Ayah, Islam. Peace, 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 peace.
Man, Islam, Empress, and peace, peace, peace. I love y'all, man. I'm gonna log off and then we'll log back on with whoever gonna work out, okay?
Peace.
Peace. Excuse me. And that's just like a little teaching I like to do, man. That's why when I jump on YouTube, I'm not here to argue with nobody. I'm a teacher. And that's why when my message over, I have my comments off because I'm not here for likes and followers. Everybody know my information. Our Temple and School webpage is bbtsciencetemple.com. And you can get all information, how we're moving and how we private on Zoom and all that good stuff. So once again, I love y'all. Peace out.